My biggest complaint so far is that they hold water. So, like, if they get wet, I mean, they dry out pretty quick, but not as quick as I was
feel like you
hoping.
have a puddle inside.
Nah, it's more the fabric.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
That's to be expected.
it's a little thicker, so it keeps your toes warm.
Nice.
Are we ready to go live yet, Sean? Oh.
That time of the day.
Well, welcome to the pre-game show at Friday Night Fish Talk.
Welcome in.
Cheers, brother.
Great week.
Great, awesome week. A little breezy past couple days, but let's not go into too much about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So the pre-game show is designed for you all to ask us anything you like for the next few minutes.
That's it. A little bit of interaction. So, you know, any questions you may have or any, you know. Yep. Still holding.
Oh.
Oh, well. Hi, YouTube watchers. Appreciate you joining.
Somebody just emailed us what channel to watch Friday Night Fish Talk on.
Maybe in the next 10 years we'll have
do I just go to YouTube?
All right, we're going. We'll be back up here in just a second.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I don't want to be airboat in that.
It's crazy. There's
Now we're
a
live?
few people here today.
Now we're live.
It is
All
kind of a weird feeling.
Now we're live.
Well, welcome into Friday Night Fish Talk's pregame show.
The pre-game show is designed for you all to ask us as many questions as you can think of for the next few minutes.
Yep, random as can be or on topic for fishing, whatever it may be.
So basically why we started the pre-game show is to be able to interact with everyone right off rip, the people that tune in early, and let the audience build up. We like to be really interactive. So This is your chance to ask us as many questions that you can think of.
Sounds like a... You wouldn't imagine that people actually stuck up here all day working.
Remember that one time I asked Sean, are we 100% ready to press the button and go?
1%, he said.
Oh my God.
So how many more pages do we have to go through before we get it right?
Can you say the next part? I don't want to say it again.
As long as it doesn't end up on, you know, Captain Gary Bartell page, live. Oh,
He's deaf.
It's the MS.
It's the MS. Yeah. All right, so this time, are we live on the right page this time, Sean? You sure? Okay.
So if that's the case, welcome into Friday Night Fish Talk's pregame show. We are here to answer any questions maybe, do a little bit of BSing, drink a little bit of beer before we have to get a little serious and discuss topics tonight.
Now, let's be honest. We're never actually serious.
Try not to be.
But the pregame show was designed for you all to ask us as many questions you could think of before we get into the actual show. So we want to be as interactive as possible. So ask away, the next few minutes until a lot of people start logging on, getting caught up. We are here to answer your questions, so just chat away. But before we do that, I would like to make a special announcement and a congratulations to my brother Billy and Jordan closing on their first ever home. So congratulations.
I feel great. I appreciate it.
We have a little bit of a celebration to do. As
snap.
you know, we like to drink. Thank you, Sean. Do the pleasures of opening it. Billy, point it away from the lights and the cameras.
So shake it first?
Shake it first.
I wouldn't do that.
Yep. Everyone watch out. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Anytime, Billy. Congratulations, first-time home buyer. Woo! Oh,
Perfect.
watch out, Ken. Cheers, man.
Appreciate
Congratulations.
it.
Huge
Thank you.
success right there. So go ahead. Drink away.
All right, why not?
Everyone, let's cheers them.
Good stuff.
All right. Seriously, man, real proud of you. You've worked your ass off, dude.
It's a good feeling. It's nice to have my own roof.
Your own roof. So you can do whatever you want and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
comment from Billy.
It's always going to be scary.
Let's see. Ooh. The champagne bottle.
Yeah.
It's the game of life, Billy. Billy, it's the game of life. You can't. You called Brianna out on it the other day and made her just
A bottle of champagne?
You should learn, Billy. For those of you. So I would like to congratulate Brianna. That's been plotted out since you got her the old mill that night, Billy. So
That hurts. Not chugging
just go ahead, chug it. So we all play a game. Now, if we tell you the rules of this game, unfortunately, you're in it for the game of life. Now, we do this real responsible, so we already have a DD lined up for Billy, but he does have to chug that whole bottle. Technically, you got to chug the bottle of champagne within a minute, but
that's not happening.
we want you to make it through the show. So that has to be gone by the end of the night. So congratulations, Brianna. That was a very well plotted out thing. So
I like that it says from Ozello Keys Marina.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Yeah, congratulations. Now eat it.
Billy got Brie good at the old mill the other night.
That's fine.
And then Jordan plotted against her as well, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Or was
that's
it
how
reversed?
It wasn't good.
No. So, Susie says, congrats, Jordan and Billy, on the keys to the house. So happy for you all.
Thank you very much.
Flat Broke Fishing, congratulations, Billy. Congratulations. So,
It's a good feeling.
oh, that's a YouTube comment, too. Leon Hampton, what up? Just in case you're tuning in, Leon, we just announced that Billy is a first-time home buyer.
It's a great
Brian
feeling.
Sims, thank you, sir. Fat Boys Jigs with an S. Holy moly, Billy.
Hi, Mom.
So, tell you, if anybody has any questions about fishing, the week, the weather, the tides, Dale, thank you, sir. Oh, we got a good question here. All right, Trey, tried fishing the flats all the way into the creeks for the other day and couldn't find anything. Help. Also, sorry for cutting y'all off. Okay. All right. So, Trey, I'm going to guess that you were probably fishing, what was it, Monday? No, Monday was a good day of fishing. When did we have that little cold snap come through? Right? When did we have that?
The champagne hurts.
We had something come through. We had some sort of cold snap come through. So I'm going to guess it was after that. A lot of people struggle, the day, 2 days after a cold snap.
Yeah, it was rough even 2 days after.
I can tell you, I had charters today, tomorrow, for the next 2 weeks, and I canceled today, obviously, with the weather.
I was going to say, what'd you do, fish at the pier?
Yeah, tomorrow, it's not going to be awful.
No, the morning's going to be a little tough, dealing with the higher winds, but I think the afternoon's going to turn out to be a little better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You got to think that temperature is dropping 20 degrees overnight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, a high of a 60 tomorrow?
You had that big pressure change from the winds coming in, the cold front. So I gave my clients option. I said it more than likely will not be a real productive day of grouper fishing, but it's up to you guys. And they end up rescheduling towards the end of December. So
Great decision, folks.
yep. But all right.
Trying to get my tours to do the same.
All right. I tell you what. That being said, if no one has any other questions, let's get to the show, Sean.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, man. Drink more
sir.
champagne. Come on.
All right.
Chug it. Chug it.
Beyond the woods, down the twists and the turns, through the marsh, lies the knowledge needed to fish the nature coast.
Dude, it came all the way out of the water.
This is Friday Night Fish Talk.
Welcome to.
Friday Night Fish Talk.
Ooh, you're on point this week.
How about it?
That's
Come
that
along this
champagne. Guys, welcome to Friday Night Fish Talk. Presented by
great old Phillips Auto Group.
Phillips
Great
Auto
folks to
Group.
have on board.
They are awesome people. So
Absolutely.
something we'll be talking about in a little bit is the tournament, which they're heavily involved in.
Yes.
But before that, tonight's segment is about wintertime fishing,
Cold fishing.
cold fishing. Now,
Cold ice fishing.
originally it
Minus
was jumping into fall, but we've jumped past fall.
We had a whole day or two of fall and, right into winter time. So here we are.
Now we talked about this a little over a month ago that it was going to be a cold winter,
Oh, yeah.
and why did we say it? Do you remember that conversation?
I mean, the
the white
conversation.
pelicans.
Yeah, the amount of migratory species that are already hitting this area, something's happening up north that they don't want to be part of.
Yep. I mean, that's a key indication. So they come from with the big white pelicans you see out there in the Keys and around the mangroves. They come all the way from Nova Scotia, Southwest Canada, travel through the Mississippi Gulf Stream, and some end up Louisiana, Texas, but the majority of them come here. But they're just like our other snowbirds. They're coming to get away from
snow. The snow.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
So that was an indication to us a little over a month ago that it was going to be a cold winter. And then what's tomorrow's lows?
Ooh, the lows, if I'm not mistaken, are going to be into the mid to low 40s.
That's what I saw too, right?
And I think it's going to be a high of maybe 60, depending if the sun comes out.
And it's going to be windy.
Mighty
Windy, coming all out of the north. So that's why we're talking about winter fishing. We're going to get you all prepared on that big transition. You know, those fish are going to be moving the next couple of days. Fishing might be a little tough. Yeah. But
once they settle in.
Once they settle in, and when fish are on the move like that too, you know, you don't discard fishing, because when they're on the move, they're also feeding.
Absolutely.
So
covering some grounds.
But we're going to get you nice and prepared for that tonight, because we've got all these awesome captains in the studio. So over here on our right, we've got Captain Zachary over at the State Farm, or the Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch, and then his special guest,
Mr. Ken Craig, Captain Ken Craig,
El Capitan. So he is an incredible person, but even more so, I think, an incredible fisherman, and his clients always come back happy.
Oh yeah,
always.
Yep.
So we're real excited.
Say the same thing, because I have been fishing with them. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Be able to get out there and took them along.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, with Captain Ken, we did very well out there and had a great time. So, can't wait to hear what he's got to say tonight.
And then we've got a special guest tonight. So Louie could not be in the studio for the Bush Home Services Tackle Table Talk. So we
broke a fingernail or something.
Yeah, he broke a fingernail. But we have a very special guest, and he knows his way around tackle. So I would like to introduce the one, the only.
Same ugly mug.
Same ugly mug, Captain Zachary. So, there we go. So Captain Zachary is taking over the Tackle Table Talk tonight. That's going to be a little later on. Actually, that's going to be the 2 segments from now. So Scott Parrish, very cool. Producer, is killing this season. He is.
He's trying.
Sean, he's awesome, man.
He's trying.
He's listening to that Christmas music a little early, though, Billy.
Yeah, we still have Turkey Day to come. I know there's no real Thanksgiving music, but it's a bit early for Christmas.
That's all right. That's why we love him.
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. All right, so wintertime fishing is going to be covered very well tonight.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Zach is, he specializes. He
one of his favorite seasons.
Yes,
absolutely.
He got that sweet mud boat, and last year, man, he could have ran, I swear, like 3 or 4 charters a day. People would fish throughout the night on 20-degree mornings just to fish out of the mud boat with Zach. So he's going to get you all real ready for this wintertime fishing. And then obviously on Tackle Table Talk, he's going to show you a bunch of different techniques and knots and whatever else he's got in store. So, Billy, let's talk about something else that's real special to us during the winter and the holiday seasons. Right. We've got the Ho Ho Ho.
So excited.
Fishing for dough.
Fishing tournament.
Kayak.
It's going to be a darn good time out there.
Paddle boards. You can fish out of a canoe.
Yeah.
A few different changes from last season. Obviously, a little higher stakes.
A lot higher stakes.
Yep. So thanks to Brian Sims, Fat Boys Jigs.
Yep.
We got Jeremy over there at Kona Ice. They raised the stakes from that $1,500 first place, and then we chipped in a little bit just to make it even, $2,000.
Pretty awesome.
And then the reason why I had to sleep on the couch the past few days is we decided I decided to throw down $1,000 of Brody's college fund. Because let's be honest.
Well, he'll be a good boat captain.
So it's a surprise category. You're not telling anybody until they all come back to the dock.
No one knows.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
No one knows. It's going to be fun too.
It's going to be the shitfish slam.
The shitfish slam.
That's a good route to go about.
So, but $2,000, and now that category too. By the way, you can win that special category, and yeah.
So stacking those earnings up.
How many anglers per boat?
You can only do 1 angler per vessel.
Okay, it is a kayak. So
yeah. Well, last year, A couple people asked about tandems, but that's another change. We allowed it last year. I don't think anyone actually fished out of a tandem.
I don't think so either.
But because the stakes got a little bit higher and it got a little more competitive, how we have the species with the two trout and the redfish.
I just think so, Scott. We tried.
Oh, Scott's the one that pushed us into it,
It
too.
was.
Remember how that started?
Yep. Hey, when are y'all going to put on a kayak tournament?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could do it this month.
Billy, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How big is the kayak that you're fishing out of? It's got to be like giant, like one of those with a dragon on the front. You know, it's like giant or something.
He's got the helmet with the
Kayak
horns.
that I run is 18 feet, 16 or 6 feet wide. It runs on V8.
Yeah. Air driven.
Digger's got a way. I mean,
I use a foot pedal kayak.
yeah.
No paddles.
Now, you've joked around a couple times about getting a kayak to fish it. So are you going to do it? Because I have a kayak.
I mean, that's the price of a kayak right there.
Can you? What about like Vinny? He's got that one with remote control on it.
No motorized.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's all. That's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm out of it.
Well, at least you're honest, Zach.
I don't know, man. During the winter months, like, you got to think, we have people come from all over Florida. Really, I mean, from up, along the coast that come to Ozello to fish during the winter months because the fishing's that good. I mean, yeah, there you go, Billy. Keep on going. Come on. That's what happens when you lose the game of life. We've got a good question coming up. Ken Claimer, No, it cannot. So Ken wants to know, can a kayak tow a kayak? No. We put in the rules, I believe it's 75 yards.
Yeah, no rafting is what we got called on last year. We had a few complaints on it.
Yeah.
And we didn't have it in the rules. So
And it was no wrongdoing.
no, not by any means.
Yeah.
We didn't state it to be something that couldn't be done. So it was our fault, for some folks that got a little edgy on it.
Yeah.
So.
It would look kind of sketchy.
Well, it could be. It really could.
Yeah.
You could. One person could have a big red fish. Two people could have, two good-sized trout.
That's
we'll
it.
split the prize. But it could. This is a share. I mean, all in all, this tournament's for kids, right?
Yeah.
It's to get presents in the hands of kids that deserve a good Christmas, right? Not a good
Absolutely.
Christmas, a little extra.
Yeah.
So, I would hope not that anyone would be coming to this tournament to cheat, and I don't think they
Try
would.
to make monies.
But to cover ourselves from,
The headaches of it.
so that's why we put it in there. So I want to say it's 75 feet. It's in the rules. So
Sounds
if you
about
go to OzelloKeysMarina.com, click on the kayak fishing tournament button, we've got all the rules and the event page. Then we've got, and it's more than just a kayak tournament, right?
Oh,
So
yes.
we've got vendors.
Yep.
We've got
food coming in.
We got food. We've got the Marker 48 beer garden that's going to be
Yes.
here, and all the proceeds from that is also going to OKM Cares to purchase these gifts. I just want to say,
Awesome.
between the pre-registrations and our incredible sponsors,
Multiples.
we're going to be able to sponsor 100+ kids easily, if not more. I mean, it's already successful.
We've thought about it, and I think we just kind of brushed it off to let it see how many will actually join.
No, we're
Oh, come on.
since there's only 3 sites, we are going to limit it at 100 kayaks.
Okay.
Yep, 100 kayaks. So now that being said, we've started. You've got 3 launch sites. You've got the marina,
Yep.
our marina. You've got
John Brown, is it?
John Brown
And Pirates Cove.
and Pirates Cove. Yeah.
Yep.
So we were looking for another launch site. We haven't heard back from them. It's a private property, so legally we cannot say that it's a part of
Can't
the.
just include them just for the heck of it.
Exactly. So you got 3 sites. So right now we're going to cap it off at 100.
And
So
also, Scott, can you see 100 kayaks here at the marina?
yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Well, we got additional parking this year,
yeah.
but
be
we've
awesome.
got last year that we did not do. We did not do raffles.
Yep.
This year we've got raffles pouring in.
Oh, yeah.
We've got vendors that are going to be all lined up.
That folks are bringing in. for the raffle.
Lots of arts and craft vendors, which is great for the holiday season. So if you forgot that
Absolutely.
last minute Christmas gift, you'll find them here, but you'll also find them at the Ozello. Sean, you want to put up that flyer real quick?
Arts and Crafts Stone Crab Festival?
Blue Crab.
Blue Crab.
The Blue Crab Festival.
Even sweeter.
The Ozello Arts and Crafts and Blue Crab Festival, November 27th 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fun food, something for all, and a kayak raffle. Oh, see, if you don't have a kayak, you could have a chance to win a kayak to fish the tournament.
Exactly it. Well, sounded good.
All right, so the kayak's not going to be drawn until February. This is the 15th annual one. They did not do it last year due to COVID reasons.
Yep.
But it's back on, and it's a lot of fun. So just if you plan on fishing the end of the road that day or launching out there, I would not.
It's going to be a long ride out.
Yep. Now, I've got one more subject that's not on here because I just said something that made me think of it. But before we do that, Sean, do me a favor, throw up the flyer again for the fishing tournament. So I'd like to make a special thanks. First of all, guys, take note of those logos and names up there. Because of them, we're able to have this fun, but more importantly, we're able to sponsor a bunch of kids for Christmas. Captain Jimmy, yeah.
Yeah. Gene Miller, didn't he also include something on that top winning spot?
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, Gene Miller. Yeah, so Gene Miller donated a fishing charter, which is going to be included on the second place prize.
Perfect.
To fatten the pot. So the first place prize is fat already, so we fatten the pot. Captain Gene Miller, he fishes out of Ginu. Now, if it were me, all right, and I was going to be fishing this tournament, I would probably be getting with Captain Gene Miller ASAP because, you know, he's going to help you, guide you along on easy, accessible spots. But the bonus is, you know, you don't have to paddle when you go on a charter with him. So he's going to take you to places you can get to with your kayak.
Yeah, Ginus and kayaks.
Yeah,
Kind of
but you're going to be focusing on just fishing and learning. So, guys, get with Captain Gene Miller at CaptainGeneMiller.com. Book a trip with him. I'm not saying it, but I think it's going to help your odds a little bit.
Yeah, I'd put that on the recommendations.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so, guys, thank you to all of our sponsors. Y'all are incredible. Now, throughout this weekend, we're going to utilize kind of this cold weather where people might not be getting out on the boat, probably in front of their phones and stuff. And we're going to do a special thanks shout out to each and every one sponsors. So again, they did incredible stuff. So we're going to do it for them. Now, what I was getting ready to say, last thing, and then we're going to get into the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week, the Pirates Cove property. Yes. So everyone calls the boat ramp the Pirates Cove ramp, but that's not actually Pirates Cove. Pirates Cove was just
to the right of it.
Exactly. That used to be the old hotel, the haunted hotel. Yeah. Once upon a time, a real hotel until 1993. So that is right now being negotiated by Citrus County to purchase that property to go ahead and make it official where it's going to be preserved, and they're going to make it into a county park, and they can actually extend the boat ramp down there.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's already been passed by 3 out of the 5 county commissioners. So Ruthie Schleybaugh, Holly Davis, and Jeff Kennard voted for it. The other 2 did not. Remember that, the election, guys. And also, so it would really help if you all went to citruscountybocc.com, look up their emails, all the county commissioners, and send them letters saying we approve of this, we support this, and that's going to help because they want the public's input on that.
Absolutely. I mean, it could be a really cool thing to have there at the end of the road, especially on a county maintained situation. Could have a decent quality boat ramp at the time.
All right, so Billy, let's do catch of the week. Let's see everything that's been caught this past week, and then from there we'll go to a commercial break and get over to Captain Zac at the Tackle Table Talks to learn about some different rigs and techniques.
Like it.
Sean, that's on you. There we go. 40+ inch, right?
Daggum, that's a big old snug.
That's a stud. I was so happy for Carlos.
10 pounds. That's Captain Carlos Gutierrez. Captain.
I like
Carlos.
the way Zach says it.
And then that big old fat 3-spotted redfish there. He caught that snook on 10-pound braid.
Ooh, that's a fight and a half.
Nice.
Yep.
Holy smokes. Tug found a lot of them tail stripe fish out there.
That was a good one.
I hope there was 2 other people with that kid.
There was.
We need to start questioning.
I saw them when they come in. It was so awesome. It was awesome.
Man.
Had a good day out there on the mud boat.
Check out that beast. Biggest one of the season.
That was a studly grouper.
16.8 pounds. Oh, look at there. Some more groupas.
Yeah.
DJ and John.
Look at the size of my thumb. I mean, I caught big ones.
Notice us doing our part on conservation, Billy.
That's exactly it.
We had groupers, so we did not decide to keep ours. There we go.
Mullet man himself.
The mullet man. Beautiful red fish. Captain Teddy. Captain
Very
Louie,
nice.
the grouper guru, putting his people on some grouper while he's guruing.
Everybody's probably wondering why I don't send my pictures and I don't want to show these other guys up.
So that's Tug's new boat. He is.
Is that Tug's? He got it sea decked?
Mud boat ready
Wow.
this season.
Nice.
That thing's slick. There we
That's
go.
nice looking.
Yeah.
Brian and Lauren. Lauren's first
Very
ever
nice
grouper was a 29-inch grouper.
That's awesome.
That is a good way to start.
First cast, right? I mean, I didn't even get finished with my spiel, and I thought she was going over the boat, but she wasn't going to let that grouper get away from her. She did an awesome
That is
job.
Awesome.
That was a rough day, too. There we go. Same
Look
guy.
at the gold on that redfish.
With the special guest tonight. Now, was that just the angle of the camera? Or was that redfish that much more gold?
No, that was for the Plantation Redfish Classic, and Brian and I decided to fish it together, and we got him some studs. We tried to size them down to get so much
Gotcha.
to weigh in, but oh no, that fish was twice as bright as the one I
That's
had on.
pretty.
Good deal.
That's awesome.
There we go. We got the kids on the
Old
boat.
social media.
Carlos made a post. Man,
Yeah.
those kids can't stay away from the phone. But we ended up, Brianna did some zooming in.
Yeah, did anybody actually see what they were looking at?
Yeah, so Jacob. Oh, so Teddy.
The mullet man himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, he.
Makes total sense now on why he's capturing the look that he's going for.
noticed-
I think he could rock the one on the bottom.
Yeah. Well, his
Next year.
hair always looks wet. You ever notice that? It could be the driest day ever, and it's always so shiny.
Well, I see him in the morning, that oil drum you guys have down there.
Yeah.
He just puts his hands in it and sticks it right through his hair every morning. It comes
That's what
in
happens.
looking like a fresh perm and then leaves looking just like that.
So thankfully, Brianna did the zoom in. Now, Captain Jacob, he was doing a little research for that day, and he was watching one of our shows and was trying to figure out what Zach was talking about on the couch over there. So
Appreciate the support, Jacob.
Yeah, Brianna, thank you for zooming on those so we can finally figure out what they were looking at. Good deal.
That's awesome.
Nature Coast Showdown? We're talking about that right now? All right. So this is a big one.
Yeah, this is going to be an awesome event that we get to do here in the next couple of weeks. And what we're going to be doing every Friday as far as a giveaway goes until then.
Yeah, so now our northern friends, because they're up in Inglis, right?
Yep.
Inglis.
Just
So
over that ridge.
I made a joke to him. I said, you guys are up north. And he said, I've never heard that before. Anyway, so our friends over there at We Be Tailin', we joined forces with Eric and John. So we are doing the first ever Nature Coast Showdown. Now it's live at the plantation, so you can either show up in person and watch it on the pool deck and the tiki bar.
Come for the festivities.
Or you can watch it on Facebook Live. I'd go ahead and join the group now, stay updated, but it's the Nature Coast Showdown group. So you can watch it either way. But what's going to happen, Billy, is one contestant's going to be chosen on their show on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, and then one on our show Friday, 7:15.
For what, the next 4 weeks, I think it is?
Every show in November. So that's 8 contestants. Now, the first draw was Brian Simps.
Yes.
That Boy's Jigs. The second draw is tonight. So make sure you've paid attention to a few things that we've talked about, because one of those things that we talked about is going to be the secret question.
Oh, okay, well.
It's going to be the secret question. And then it's the same Reel of Fortune, and if you win, you're going to be the second contestant. And we've got
so much fun.
Oh my God, it's gonna be. Well, I mean, it's the ultimate angler, right? So we've got trivia, we've got casting competitions, a few other things. It's gonna be quite the showdown. So make sure you watch, and for your chance, watch We Be Tailin' Friday Night Fish Talk. Because now the winners.
If you don't win tonight, you got to follow in on Wednesday, and then back again.
6 more chances after the night. Thanks to Plantation Inn and Bahio Sunglasses.
Yes.
So Plantation Inn, I mean, they went all out. Rooms, 2-night stay, a fishing charter with Shasty McNasty,
Cool.
dinner cruise, and then cook your catch at West 82 Bar and Grill. And then Bahio Sunglasses we're going to be giving away a pair of Bahio sunglasses to the winner as
I
well.
love these things.
Trust me, guys, especially for the kayak tournament,
Yes.
get you a pair of Bahios.
Yep.
Game changer. All right, let's go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll be with Captain Zachariah Argero. Is that Argero?
Zachariah Zachary.
Zachariah Zachary.
Hey Gary, what you doing?
Oh, just going through the book, looking at some dash panels.
As nice as that sounds, what if we went and did something a little more custom? Do you know anybody that might be able to make a switch panel like this?
Let's go talk to Brian.
I think Brian would be a good idea for that.
Oh, let's go.
It'd be sweet.
Oh, Brian. Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Got a cardboard cutout. Can you make it into something for me?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
What?
This is our dash panel complete. Just wanted to throw a huge shout out to Brian up there at Extreme Decalz. Nailed it. This is exactly what I had envisioned when I drew literally a cardboard cutout for this to become a true dash piece and showpiece at the same time. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm super stoked to see this thing on the water.
How's it going, guys? I'm filling in for Louie this evening with the Tackle Table Talk presented by, that is a mouthful there, Tackle Table Talk. Tackle Table Talk presented by Bush Home Services, guys. So we're going to go over specifically artificials that I like to throw during the winter time for a bunch of different species, your redfish, your trout, your snook. I haven't really found too many artificials that work that great for black drum and sheephead, so typically I stick towards your real bait for that. But you guys have heard me go over it last winter. It's a really, really great bait. I don't know if you guys want to zoom in on the hand cam there.
That is an awesome lure to get your hands on.
And so this is going to be, it's made by Mirror Lure. It's called the Little John XL. You can also get them in the regular Little John, which is going to be like this guy here. With this one here, I'm typically rigging it on a jig head, whether it be a 1/4 ounce, 1/8 ounce. If you're trying to throw it real far and sink it down in some deep water, you can even go to, a little like a 3/8, something like that. But typically it's going to be a 1/4 ounce to 1/8 ounce jig is going to be the best for it. For your Little John XL, so this is the pack here, if you guys take a peek at that, and that's going to be watermelon red color. For this guy here, I like to rig this one weedless, and you're going to do it what you call a Texas rig. And so let's pull some hooks out here. So you've got your typical bass hook there. You can see that. So it's got that little neck right here. And so what you're going to do, guys, is you run it through the top of the lure, probably about, I don't know, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. And you're going to come back out like this. All right. So now you've got it like that. You're going to pull it all the way through, and then you're going to twist this hook and pull that piece of rubber up on top of the basically of the shank of the hook there. And then at this point, you go through the belly of it and you push it all the way through. And if you do it correctly, it's not going to be all kinked up. It's going to be just sitting just like that. All right. So you can use this with no weight because this does sink. And this is going to allow you to bounce it off the bottom, and that hook is hidden down in here. So you can see I'm rubbing my finger right across the top of this, and I'm not getting hooked. As soon as a fish eats it, it's going to push that down, and now you can see that hook is exposed there. And so that's when it's going to get obviously hooked there. But when you're bouncing it through oyster bars, grass, whatever the case may be, I mean, you can just knock this all over the place, and it's not going to get hooked, or 99% of the time it's not. If you need a little bit of weight to it, I don't have any with me, but you're essentially going to use a bullet weight, and you can tie it in right here. Do you guys have that string?
Let's try.
There we go. To tie these things together. So essentially, guys, what you're going to do for your, you want to have a loop knot on here. It's called a perfection loop or a fisherman's loop knot. And to tie that, if you guys want to come back into the, so you're gonna hook. This is going through the eye of the hook here, just like this. All right. So now you've got that. There's multiple ways you can do it. All right. You can do what you call a surgeon's knot, which is super, super easy. You can just flip it through like this a couple times, and then it's be hooked on there, but you typically lose a lot of line like that. And then the perfection loop, which I was telling you about, first thing you're going to do is make a loose knot, all right? Just like that, all right? Very easy. Then you go through the eye of the hook, and then you're going to come back around through this, all right? So at this point, you can make this loop as big or small as you want, just like that. So I like to have it relatively small. At that point, you're going to go around the main line 3 or 4 times, and then you're going to go back through. There's actually a triangle in that circle there. You can see it on camera there. So you got the circle, and then you got a little triangle through it. You want to go back through that triangle, okay? And at that point, you just cinch everything down, clip your tag off, and then you've got a very strong, very reliable knot. And the reason why I go with the loop knot is because it's not rigid on there. It can flop around real nice and easy. It's not stuck to that main line to where if you're using fluorocarbon like I do, fluorocarbon's a rigid line, and so it's not going to let that bait perform as well in the water. So that's what I recommend is it's a perfection loop, fisherman's loop. A lot of people call it different things, but that's typically what I'm going to go with. For line size, guys, I've been using, actually Ken gave me a pack of Seaguard Gold, which is a really great line. I'm using anywhere between 25 to 30 pound Seaguard Gold. If those fish are getting finicky, I would move down to like maybe 15, something like that. And then for your hard baits, we don't really talk about hard bait on the show that much, or your, hard plastic lures. The Myridine XL works really good. That's by Miralure. The Myridine, just the standard, is going to work great. Any natural colors. And then this is one of my favorite lures to use. This is going to be a Yozuri F, and it's a topwater lure. Basically, I'm going to use any natural color. So I've got one here that's kind of looks like a mullet or a creek chub. Works really, really well. You can see it's pretty iridescent in the lights there. And you're going to do that typical walk the dog, so when that thing's going across, it's going to be just rocking back and forth like this. Now, between these two topwaters here, you can see one is a lot thicker than the other one, okay? I like using these thin, heavier topwaters solely because this one is going to float a lot higher in the water, more like this, if that was the water level. And so when that redfish or trout comes up to try and eat it, there's more of it out of the water, so it's actually harder for that fish to eat this lure. If you use one of these topwaters, when you start moving along, it surfaces and works just like a regular topwater. But when you stop it or you slow it down, more of that bait is underwater. So actually, only about this much of the lure is going to be sticking out of the water when you stop it or slow it down. And so you got this whole body hanging down with these hooks here. And so when that redfish or trout comes up, they're going to be able to grab that lure a whole lot easier than your real high floating lures like this one or Rapala. I can't remember the name. Might be, I don't know, it's one of the Rapala lures. They float super, super high. And then a bunch of the mirror lures, I actually don't like using those much because they float super high. And you tend to lose a lot of fish on those or miss a lot of strikes. The main thing when you're using these topwater guys, you're able to actually physically see them blow up and eat this lure, all right? So many people make the mistake, they see this big blow up next to their bait, and then they go and set the hook instantly. Guys, you do not want to do that. Absolutely, that's the complete wrong thing to do, all right? You want to work that thing along, and even if you see something blow up on it, don't set that hook, guys, until you physically feel the strike. When you feel the strike, that's when you want to set the hook. And that's pretty much got it covered for what I personally use as for artificials during the winter time. For Live bait, guys, we go over live bait all the time. You can hook them a million different ways. You know, you can pinch that shrimp's tail off, run it right through this hook, let these things sit on the bottom. For your creek chubs or your pinfish, I'm using a Eagle Claw 3/0 octopus circle hook. It's not a real circle hook, so you're gonna have to set the hook on them. But I really like this hook. It's a light hook, so that fish can swim around really easy in the water, and it looks very, very natural. Other than that, that's pretty much got it for Bush Home Services Tackle Table Talk.
Zach, great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't need an applause, but you know.
And what I like that is I can pronounce Zach's last name too. It doesn't.
Argerio.
It doesn't help that Zach's got the easiest name in the world to remember, but
Yeah.
Zachary. Alrighty, guys. So that was Captain Zachary with tried and true outdoor adventures. Now, you know, that's another thought too for the kayak anglers that are gonna be fishing this tournament is getting a mud boat. You know, doing a little pre-scouting, and that's probably a pretty good idea because the mud boaters don't go far from
Not
the
at all.
marina.
And it's for where they're running, it's not a terrible paddle to get there.
Yeah. So
If you're on my boat, you're gonna have to. I blindfold you once you leave the marina. So set your stopwatch, and then when you take a right turn, remember when that right turn was, left turn, and that's the only way you're going to be able to get to this spot.
Good idea.
That's a connect the dots series.
Zach, why are we fishing the canal right behind the marina? I don't understand.
We're doing donuts.
All right, Billy. So I wanted to come over to the marshware section.
Yes.
All right. I want you, out of everything that's right here, if you could take home one article of clothing, all right? Not take off one article of clothing.
Oh.
You've drinking enough champagne, so I
I hope
hope
it only means hat.
you heard. What would it be?
Honest to goodness, would actually probably be this blue one. I have the gray version of this material, and it is hooded.
Yeah.
I love this material. It is very comfortable. It actually, when it comes to this wintertime, you know, maybe not into the 40s is it going to keep you warm, but when it comes to that 70 to 60 degrees, it'll actually keep you warm if there's not a heavy breeze. And then even when it's 90 degrees, we're cool. It's an awesome material. It's probably one of my favorites. I have a few different varieties of these shirts, but the non-hooded one is the one I don't have that I would like to.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Pretty sweet materials that they have, and I like that they have a variety of different ones to try.
Now, we do have the winter line of clothing coming in soon.
Looking forward to
So
that. About time for
I'm
that.
going to go ahead and guess next week. But, you know, you're talking about keeping cool.
Yeah.
This material here, it's the same thing with the keeping cool. Actually,
Yeah.
Captain Ken and I were talking about it earlier. But he's the one that brought up. He's like, man, it really does keep you cool. Our shirts typically wear out real fast. I've worn this one almost every day, clean or
a nice
not.
shirt.
But talk about keeping warm.
Yeah. That one's almost got like that same dry fit material, but it's like inlaid with cotton or something.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet. I don't know how they make it, but it is an awesome material. I do love the variety that they have.
Yeah. So I'd like to get that shirt, but with the mural on it. That'd be kind of sweet. So, all right, hey guys, real quick before we go to a commercial and then come back to talk to the famous Captain Carey Craig over there with Captain Zachary. Just so you all are aware, for tonight's question, if you answer it without doing one thing,
You didn't answer it.
you didn't answer it, and you'll be disqualified if that magic reel of fortune lands on your name.
Yep.
You've got to share this
Whole segment.
this whole thing. So
Yeah.
it's so easy. You know, we come up here every Friday night. We plan the whole week out. We work our butts off. So just do us a favor, share, and then share again.
We just threw this whole thing together in like 10 minutes. You say we were here all week.
That's true. Well, Sean was.
Yeah, true, very true.
But all right, that being said, make sure you share so you can get entered into this drawing for a drawing, and we'll be back here soon.
Drawing for the draw.
Drawing for the drawing.
When you
want pre-owned trucks, you need Phillips Buick GMC. Trucks, and more trucks. Phillips Buick GMC has a massive selection of pre-owned trucks, all makes and models. Work trucks, 4x4 trucks, heavy duty, and even diesels. And if we don't have it, we'll find it for you. At Phillips, we'll even pay cash for your truck. Get an instant cash offer at PhillipsBuickGMC.com today. Shop the best selection in Central Florida at Phillips Buick GMC in Fruitland Park, just south of the Villages.
How's it going, guys? Captain Zac, Captain Ken on the casting couch.
Pleasure to be here, Zach.
Brought to you by State Farm, Ayinde Matthews, casting couch. So, number one, man, I don't know if you are in the market at all for a vehicle, but I got that Dodge from the guys at the Phillips Auto Group, and that, I mean, I've been stoked with it. You know, I mean, it's a great vehicle. And then also just what a breeze to work with those guys. You know, they're not pressuring you to buy a vehicle, anything like that. So, I mean, if any of you guys are out there looking for a vehicle, definitely head down to Phillips over there in Ocala, right?
Yeah, Ocala.
And talk to those guys. And, I mean, stress-free buying experience there for sure. I don't like being pressured or pushed into doing anything. And I'm very frugal. And it was, I can tell you, it was very easy for me to buy it. Just nice, laid back, you know.
I thought Zach was excited when he got his mud boat, but I'm telling you, dude, it's the best thing ever to watch him pulling into the marina, and he's sticking out his window, coming through,
I don't know about all
hair breezing, and then the other thing is too. I mean, you know, it's the perfect combination. It really is. You've got it all. So you've got the Phillips, you get your vehicle, then Ayinde to insure your vehicle, and your boat and everything else he does. He helped you out with getting your house.
Absolutely has.
And then I'm going to be hitting up Brian here soon to do all kinds of stuff on my truck.
Yep.
You know, to promote my business and everything like that. So it's a full package there.
It is full package. And then we got Bush Home Services that can.
You can load the grill up in the back of the truck.
Load the grill. They can build a garage. I'm pretty sure I saw they do it all. So I mean, yeah.
Have some of the coolest sponsors, to be honest with you.
We really do. So all right, take it away.
Let's get into number one, how the fishing has been, and then number two, what your plan is going to be starting tomorrow on through this week after all of this cold, wind, rain, water temperature is going to be dropping. We're going to have very low. We've had low tides for the past 2 days. It's going to get extremely low Saturday and Sunday. So just kind of work. Let's start at the beginning. How's the fishing been, and then what's your prediction of where these fish are going to be moving to?
Well, first off, Zach, it's a pleasure to be sitting here next to one of my mentors. We're in a tough transition period right now, but what can be a curse is at the same time a blessing, because you're out there and you're studying these fish and you're watching their patterns. I mean, I am a redfish addict.
Sure.
I literally fish them year round, and everything's about patterns when it comes to these redfish, snook, trout, everything. Our environment, the conditions control most of it.
Yep.
But there are certain patterns you can recognize around certain structures or certain scenarios where you can anticipate where those redfish or those snook or those trout are going to be. I mean, and it's easy for captains that are out there 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. They don't have to keep a logbook. You know, they see it every day. You know, so they know they got a plan after the charter today what to do tomorrow. And a lot of them get together and talk, and they got a plan. But I do want to bring something up for. I mean, a lot of these folks out there, they're weekend warriors. You know, they got real jobs. They're not like us, and they got 2 days. They can't pick their tide. They can't pick their weather.
Sure.
So they got to get out there and fish.
Yep.
The best thing I learned when I first started fishing at a very young age, and my great-grandpa taught me it, is keep a logbook. I mean, there was no internet back then. And I grew up in the time of the bass anglers and, you know, the river trout fishermen and stuff like that, and keep a logbook. But, I mean, on them logbooks, you know, record your barometric pressure. Record that wind direction,
water
temperature, water temperature, tide. I mean, if you're coming up on your first day off, you know, out of 5 days, and I mean, what are you going to do? Start all over and just spend all day looking for
with
them?
that is it's great you're bringing it up, because nobody's brought that up. When you log all that stuff, put your date on there.
Yep.
And what's interesting is over the course of a few years, and it might not even be a few years, it could just be from one year to the next.
Yep.
You look at your water temperature, your pressure, absolutely everything, and you go look at the date, and sometimes that date can be months off.
Yep.
You know, like last year this time, you know, it wasn't as cold, you know, and so basically what I'm getting at is more importantly, look at the water temperature, barometric pressure, wind direction, tides, everything like that versus the actual date.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Even gone so far as when I make a waypoint, if I bust a bunch of redfish coming into a cut or trying to set up on something and I bust a bunch of them, I'll mark that waypoint. But it won't just be waypoint 00299.
Yeah.
It'll be those exact things we just talked about in an acronym.
Yep.
And then I can go home, pull the Simrad off, plug it in, write down all that stuff. And there's people like Sean that are smart enough that can put that all on an Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, yeah.
And you can literally type in conditions, boom, pops up again.
Cool. That's awesome. So in your opinion, well, first off, how was your fishing last week?
Quality, but not quantity.
Okay, gotcha.
But I had to work for them real hard. The amazing thing about this nature coast, and I've fished all over the U.S., Hawaii, Alaska. First time I fished here, I was totally addicted. The fishery we have here in the nature coast and the abundance of wildlife is a life-changing experience. Between Cedar Key and Chaz, we probably got, 4,000 miles of coastline?
There's
tributaries,
a lot of it there. Yes, sir.
Creeks, cuts. There is nothing like it in the world. I mean, unless you live smack dab in the middle of the Everglades, and I mean, it's an amazing thing. Oh, it's incredible. You can go 10 miles north, 10 miles south. Tactics are totally different.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, my brothers up in Yankeetown, they'll run in way stupid skinny in the mud boats, airboats, the jet boats, and then they'll beach on an oyster bed, hike on in, and throw in them landlocked ponds, fishbowl full of big redfish. You know, I fish just south of there or way south of here, way back country, and my strategy is a little bit different. When I come in, and this is my absolute favorite time of year, it's the most challenging, but it's the most rewarding. I will run in as safe and shallow as humanly possible. And okay, Zach, you got clients out. It's 46 degrees. The wind's blowing 15, 20 miles an hour. Sun's just coming up. Where are you going to put those clients? In a sheltered leeward side of an island with the sun hitting you so we can warm up. Guess what? Them redfish are going to be same spot.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I watch for a hard bottom, shallow, and these small, sheltered, no current coves, or that black, sticky mud bottom.
Yep.
No current, sheltered coves. I mean, the kind of black mud that you don't want to stick your power pole all the way down into, or you're going to have to get off the boat, back the boat, pick it up.
Yeah.
The sticky stuff, the black stuff.
Yep.
I mean, these fish are like us. When that water drops below 65, 67 degrees, and then like what's going to happen Sunday for us on that tournament,
it's going to be chilly.
These fish are going to be like old grumpy uncles sitting in a recliner in your living room. And you'll be able to throw, maybe you start with the top water, or maybe you start with the artificial. Don't throw right on them. Throw one side to the other and just try to get their attention.
Sure.
But if they're locking up or busting off, if there's still a few of them out there, what I like to do is I kind of like to tease the dog. Throw a big, nasty piece of cut mullet on there. Throw it out there 10 feet from them. Let them bait fish start working it.
Yep.
And let that grumpy old bull red hear that commotion, which is natural to him, other than, different from you tossing lures over him. Let them bait fish start working on it. And he's going to do one of two things. He's either going to get off that recliner, come over and check it out, chase everybody off, or he's going to grab that bait.
Yep. So when wintertime's approaching, basically you're going to be hitting shallow water, as long as it's got hard bottom, not as much current, backside islands, bunch of sun, so they're heating up there. They're getting there for the warmth. Or you're going to be getting back to like your potholes and stuff like that with that real dark mud in it, because it's still it's radiating heat off that, and they're going to be sitting in there. Now, when you take your car, for somebody that's wanting to go, back in the creeks, or if they're finding those potholes and stuff like that you're talking about out in open water, if they're wanting to go and catch as many fish as they can, you're going to be recommending the artificials for them, or are you going to recommend live bait? And if it's live bait, what kind of live bait would you recommend those guys throw this weekend?
If I got mud or meat hunters on the boat,
not even meat hunters, just people who want to go out and just catch fish and release fish. Yeah,
bunch of fish.
Yep.
And I struggle with that, Zach. I struggle with that. But if I got younger kids or some new people to the Nature Coast that just want a whole bunch of hookups and stuff like that, I'll set them up on one of them cuts off of one of them breaks. I mean, it doesn't matter if tide's going up or down. Once you have a significant change between low slack or high slack, these fish are going to move off those.
Yeah.
I mean, especially as the sun gets higher, they're going to get a little warmer and start feeding.
What bait would you be using for, creek chubs, or people call them mud minnows?
Well,
assortment of
mud
cut
minnows,
bait, shrimp.
Mud minnows are awesome.
Yeah.
Year round. And now OKM carries them consistently, so I don't even go anywhere else to get my mud minnows.
That's awesome. So I personally, if I'm targeting just those redfish or just those trout, that's what I like to throw, mud minnows or pinfish, either one. But what's really neat is, guys, when this water temperature drops, it's not just those redfish and trout that are going and looking for your warm water. You got black drum, you got mangrove snapper, you've got sheep's head, you've got your redfish or trout, you've got your snook, you got flounder, which it's closed, but you still got your flounder. You've got all kinds of different things. And when you think about, what do all of those eat, it's going to be 99% of the time, it's going to be your shrimp. The black drum, they're not going to eat a creek chub as much as a shrimp. Your sheephead, obviously, I've never caught a sheephead on any kind of cut bait, other than shrimp. So I like throwing that shrimp in those holes. And honestly, guys, if there's not a whole lot of current in there, so you can get away with using really any size jig head. Just pull one out of your box. It can be, it could be an ounce jig head if you wanted to be an ounce jig head, or it could be a, quarter ounce, it could be an 1/8 ounce, anything like that. But that's what those fish are basically going to be doing, guys. They're going to be, last week they were all on the outside. There's still going to be fish on the outside after this, but they're going to be slowly making their way into that shallow water, like Ken was saying. Your hard rocky bottoms that are going to be shallow water, radiating that heat. Your depressions and holes in the bottom where you've got that dark mud where you put a black piece of paper and a white piece of paper out, that black piece of paper is going to be a lot hotter than the white piece, and so it's just sucking all that heat in. And let's see what else for artificials. What artificials? I mean, I tell everybody what I'm throwing up there, but every captain's different. You got guys that use spoons. You've got guys that use only hard baits. You got all different crazy colors. What do you prefer to use when you're throwing artificials out there?
If I got sun and reds in a really shallow spot, and the greatest lesson probably I ever learned fishing reds, I got really frustrated because I was on them all the time, but I just couldn't get them to bite. And Dan Clymer told me them fish have to have about a foot of water before they're brave enough to feed. And once I figured that out and started, using that in my tactics, it was a game changer, and he was totally right.
What actual artificial are you using?
I'll start with either a top, if it's early morning, sun's just coming up, like we're getting into this time change, these really cold mornings, them fish are going to be sitting there waiting for that sun to peak, and they're going to be the sunny side, leeward side of these islands, cuts, and coves with very little current. And I'm going to throw a top water, work it. If it ticks them off and they start moving off, I'm going to change it up. I'll go through not a 4-inch gold spoon weedless, but like a 2-inch, a little one.
Okay.
Throw it way past them, rod tip real high, slow roll, and walk it.
Okay.
Barely on the surface.
Cool.
And then, of course, that don't light them up. Throw a big old nasty piece of cut bait or some shrimp out there and let the bait fish start taking them
Yep,
off and see if
gotcha.
they'll take it.
Gotcha.
Ooh, Billy. I almost gagged when I saw that.
Well, guys, that's pretty much all my questions for Ken. Ken, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man, for
Zach,
coming out, sharing your
it's-
knowledge of the area with everybody. And Gary's coming back on scene now with a couple beers. And
Mic on.
Billy's almost done with his. I still can't believe how much you have left in there.
A lot.
He's got a lot.
too much.
Yeah.
His eyes
You've been
are
tipping
red.
that thing up like you've been drinking a bunch, but I don't think you have halfway done.
He's gonna be farting suds tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of bubbly.
Quickly.
A lot of bubbly. All right, Ken, Zach, awesome.
Thank you, Gary.
Awesome
Thanks for coming.
information, guys. I really, I say this a lot, and I get, I've seen a lot of people kind of throw darts when they don't think I see the target.
Right.
They say, oh, they just promote people that they bring on there just to get them on there, or they promote product because they're sponsored, blah, blah, blah. We promote and we talk and we bring people on that we fully believe in and,
Fully believe in, fully fish with, and when it comes to like a sponsor situation, it's what we use.
it's what we use. It's
I
what
mean,
it's what we
it's-
love. Like it's
Yeah.
great product. I mean, for instance, this spider wire, not sponsored by them one bit.
Nope.
Don't even sell
Pretty
it
sweet
here.
stuff though.
This is the best fishing line I have ever used in my life. The only thing I have not tested yet is the longevity of it.
Yep.
So, but it's the spider wire, ultra cast, and then this is the Avisa the white or
Great
clear.
stuff, yep.
Does it go transparent in the water? Like when you put it in the water, can you see it, or is it so white?
Once it goes down about 3 or 4 feet.
Okay, gotcha.
So now this is the 65-pound braid, Zach, that I've been using on the grouper rods.
Yeah.
So I have not tested inshore. I did just order a reel of it, some 10-pound stuff
Okay.
for inshore. But, I want to make sure it's going to last. As guides, this stuff adds up,
Oh,
on
God.
top of a lot of other costs. So I want to make sure it lasts long. I use that Power Pro Super Slick. Super Slick, right?
I can't stand that.
Yeah.
The first day, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Second day, awesome.
As soon as that
third
wax
day,
or whatever's off of it,
the sun
gonna say,
does it.
with
it's
too.
this
like
month,
it's like trying to cast thread.
Yeah.
Literally sewing thread.
Now, before we get into the secret question for the giveaway tonight, which is a contestant number 2 spot for the Nature Coast Showdown, before we get into that, Billy and I learned a trick. So, and Captain Carey Gibson, we've seen him doing this down at the dock. He doesn't use a bucket. He just throws a spool in the water and starts reeling.
I didn't think much of it. We thought maybe it was just due to the fact he didn't have anybody or didn't ask anybody for help.
Well, he had an idea. I think I think doing it this way helped out a lot because this was the first time I lined a spool and didn't have, have you ever lined a spool, especially with gripper rods, and then you're using them and all of a sudden you go to cast and there's a little bit stuck in the reel because it's not compacted.
Yeah.
So we took a bucket of water, right? And then we put this
Drop
face.
the whole thing in there.
Yeah, now it's important, whatever way your reel spins, that you're pulling. So if your reel spins like this, you want this to spin this way.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't get all wound up. But we just dropped it in there like that, let it soak for about 10 minutes, and then spooled it. The line was already compacted. It
That's
was
pretty cool.
slick. You could put a lot of tension on it without burning your hands.
You're
So
not putting a pencil through it and burning your knuckles off.
yeah, exactly.
exactly.
No. But just a little trick.
Pretty cool concept.
we
It was something nice to learn.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
So I don't know if that's a common technique or not. We did some YouTubing, and I said, man, I'm getting this expensive line and these new reels. I want to do it right. And I with tying a line onto a spool of reel, I've always went on Billy's theory of can't tie a knot, tie a lot.
Yeah.
So it's real bulky, but worked out good. So
You can hear every when you cast out, you can hear it knock every single guy
Yeah.
on the way out.
all
Here,
right.
guys, I'm gonna launch it.
So tonight's secret question.
Yes.
All right. It has to do with the kayak tournament.
Ho, 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 fishing for
Yep.
dough.
So I hope you all have done your studying. I hope you've done your studying on the flyers, on the Facebooks, on everything.
And good supporters are.
So good supporters. Now we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be doing shout outs this whole weekend for every single sponsor because they took their own money that they make, that they work their butts off for, and trusted us to put this event together and be successful with it so we can get some presents in some kids' hands.
Absolutely.
So they're all incredible, right? Every single one of them.
Absolutely.
And after I ask this question, I'm going to tell a little story about one of the sponsors in particular. So on the flyer, all right, there's a logo on the flyer. All right, what we want to know. Now, your answer, we tried this last week, I believe, right?
We did,
yeah.
yes.
So some people figured it out, some people struggle with it. While you're answering, while you're commenting, you've got to tag this business.
Yes.
All right, you have to tag it.
them.
Learn how to tag it. We're gonna say this one more time. You guys got to start figuring this out on your own.
Maybe twice, but
It's
definitely
2021, people. All right, so to tag a business or a person, you do an @ symbol, right? Yep. Actually, we talked about this the other day. Yep.
You taught me.
So you do an @ symbol, and then you start typing out the name of the business, and then you'll see it pop up. And then you click on it, and that's how you tag a business, right?
Shift A, right?
Auto fills in for you.
No Shift A. No Shift A. So the question is, there's one sponsor, all right, involved with this tournament.
Yep.
All right. There's one sponsor that is a seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
What's the name of that seafood restaurant? Okay, what's the name of it? And don't forget, you have to tag it. Now, if you win, if you answer, you got to be one of 14 people, the first 14 to answer that question correctly and do it in the proper format. It's going to get on the Wheel of Fortune. And then Captain Ken's going to be our special guest spinner.
Find out who the second player of this event's going to be.
I am so excited.
Right there with you.
I'm
Brian
so
Sims,
excited.
You are not eligible to play. Sorry, brother.
Now, we got a special role for Zach, too. I don't know if you know that or not.
I have not heard this
We've
yet.
got a special role. Yep, we got a special role for him. But I like secrets, I think it's fun.
You find this out.
Yeah. So again, there's a sponsor of the Ho 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 Fishing for Dough Kayak Tournament that is a seafood restaurant. Yep. What is the name? And you have to tag them in your answer. So
doesn't get much easier than that.
Nope. And then when we get back, we'll announce the 14 people that answered it correctly in the proper format, and I want to tell a little story about that business. So we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back,
all right,
you put a tip. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, leave that up for a second.
If only they sold mullet. Do they?
For some reason, I feel like Teddy is at the sportsman banquet. I don't know why. So I'm going to take a picture.
Louie.
Let me see. I'm going to take a picture of this. Got Memphis in the background there. And I'm going to text that to him right now.
Perfect.
All right, let's go to commercial.
We'll be right back.
That's cool, small Teddy. All right.
I'm so happy you're looking that up, Teddy.
Teddy. Boom. Just text it to him.
I mean, other people may have seen other things on Facebook.
So is the board filled out yet?
Let me have that.
Good. You gonna read it or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. So Zach just got a really cool message. This is what drives us to do what we do.
This is why we love doing what we do.
I mean, we love doing it just for the full, we love doing it, but it's just, people, I don't know, this is just cool. Go ahead. But hey, Christmas boy, can you Go to Zach.
So guys, pretty cool. I had a client fish with me out of Ozello in my mud boat last January, and he literally just after Gary was going over, everybody sponsoring the Ho 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 tournament, everything they do, for the community here, says, "Hi Zach, it's Blake. My wife and I fished with you last January, and we'll be booking with you again this year, hopefully. We'll get you on the books, Blake. Don't worry." I found you on Facebook, Friday Night Fish Talk. I've watched all the episodes. The things y'all are doing to support the community are amazing. Can't wait to get back to Ozello in January. I can't wait to fish with you, Blake. That's awesome. Really cool that, you watch and, see that everybody here is trying to support the community and everything like that. It's great to know that people, we're not up here just blowing smoke. People actually watch it,
awesome.
and
It's really cool.
Engage in it. Really cool.
It's fun, man. People like that, like taking.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's
awesome.
Got chills.
Good feeling.
Love that
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey, leave it on here. I got some pictures on there too.
Oh, here we go. We got a photo.
Yeah.
He's looking at mullets, so.
Yeah, this is his wife on there. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Back it up.
Back it up, back it up.
Anyway, you can see it's a big redfish.
Yeah,
It's made out of black.
That's Blake's wife.
Anyways, it's still really, really blurry,
It
but
just keeps trying to zoom in on Ken.
there we go. Anyways, I'm excited to get him back out there.
How's that champagne, Billy?
Hi.
Billy, it's not even
you.
halfway gone yet. We got a DD for you. Don't worry. Is that board filled
How am I
yet?
supposed to move in tonight?
Oh, I got all kinds of clients texting me now.
Really?
Yeah,
Sweet.
We could spend the whole night doing this.
that's pretty cool.
Love this stuff.
Oh,
All right, so is the board, Sean? Board's still not filled. All right, guys. To tag the business, the question was, what is the seafood restaurant that's sponsoring the Ho Ho Fishing for Dough?
that happens to
Sell seafood. Yeah. So what is their name? But you have to tag them in the comments.
by
And-
doing the @ symbol first and then type out what it is. It will pop up on your screen for you to click on and it'll autofill.
And as soon as you start typing it,
Officially tagged.
yeah, then you tag it. So if not, then let's just
Stuff's terrible.
stuff terrible. That bad?
He's working on
The
it
checking
really hard.
aspect, yes. Horrible.
All right. So should I just start telling the story? So I think we're running a little late. What do you got, Sean? All right. So guys, the answer is the Seafood Cellar and Cafe.
But you still have to tag it.
You still have to tag it. So I think we've got a couple more spots left. The Seafood Cellar and Cafe. Now, Jimmy and Sue, incredible people.
Awesome people.
Known them for a very long time.
What about that big?
They don't just support our event. They don't just support events. They do stuff. They do stuff just out of the kindness of their hearts, right?
say,
All the time. Now, all of our sponsors.
We're just a very minute thing of what they actually
Yeah.
do in this little county.
Now, all of our sponsors the same way. I mean, every single sponsor does. You'll see their names everywhere. You'll hear them doing kind stuff everywhere. They all do that. So Jimmy did a very, 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 very generous donation, right, in the very get-go. So originally he signed up for one of the top-tier packages, and then we show up, and all of a sudden he says, hey, I want these kids to have the best Christmas of their lives. And he wrote a $3,000 check, right? $3,000.
Yeah.
Then after the show last week and he saw everyone participating and everything, he called me after the show. He said, Gary, he said, I want these kids to have a really good Christmas. He said, promise me that. I said, I promise, Jimmy. And, he does turkey giveaways at the school and stuff for the kids. And he's doing all this stuff right now. So he said, I wish I could be involved in more, in this tournament. So come by the restaurant. I've got something else for you. I show up. Another $2,000, right? So Jimmy and Sue from the Seafood Cellar, they donated $5,000
Wow.
to this
Gifts
event.
That's going to be, it gives you chills.
It
It's
does
just
get-
too darn cool.
Thank God I'm wearing a Marshwear shirt, otherwise you'd see the chills.
Too darn cool for the amount of love they put back into this little community.
And all of them, like every single one of them, that's why Citrus County is and I've said this time after time after time, I've lived all over the U.S. And
Not
Citrus
I.
County
You know, I love this place.
is the best place to live in the world.
Yep.
Really is. So, all right, so we've got the board. Ken, come on up here. You're going to be our
It's that
guest
time again.
spinner. Let me get this bucket of water out of the way.
Bree's gonna ground me if I break it, so don't make me spin it too
You
hard.
got to
spin
spin
that.
it hard.
I want
You
to see
got-
it literally fall off.
Check
Who's
the
been our
bearings here.
Dallas? I think's been the best, had the most
Yeah.
spins yet, but
Wait.
still, you can go a lot further with
I
this thing.
appreciate that.
Is it because they're spinning it the wrong way? Maybe they are. Okay,
This
so
one?
he needs to go on that side then.
If that's
Really?
the case,
Yeah, 'cause maybe
we
that's
have
why.
one-way bearings on this.
That's what I was thinking, Billy. See
Oh,
the
no.
mechanics.
All right, so we've got Stanley. Now, Stanley H, is that Stanley Holback? Anyone
Very
know?
well could be.
No? I don't know.
That'd be awesome if it was. Hopefully, you are on there.
Scott P, could be Pritchard or Parrish.
They're
Brian,
the same.
Derek, Joanne B, Lee H,
Guess what? Hold back.
Leah. It is Holback? It is Holback.
Oh.
Who gets the free tried and true
Eddie,
charter?
oh yeah, that's right. It's a bonus one.
What?
Just kidding.
Eddie, I'm going to call you back
That's
to
giving away
book
free charters.
that grouper trip. Is it a grouper trip he's looking to do?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to call
We're
you
gonna
back
do a
to,
grouper
to
trip.
book the grouper trip after the show. I promise, brother. Joe, I've heard of that guy. Zach M, or Zach W.
Mr. Williams.
It's either Williams or, no, yeah, it's probably Williams. Adriana, Amanda, Dale, Roger, Valerie, Mike B. All right. Spin the hell out of it, Ken. Hold
on, Billy.
There we go. There we go. Yep. That's it. It's because we didn't spin the wheel backwards. That was a good one.
He's still rolling. I'm going yellow.
Purple. Color?
Purple, green,
That's
blue,
best.
red.
Yellow.
Green.
Roger B. Roger B.
Are you
Congratulations.
present?
Are you present? Also,
be
we
present
need
to
we
win.
need to make sure that they are gonna beat Roger Bird.
Mr. Bird.
So Roger Bird, one, do you live nearby where you are gonna show up for the Nature Coast Showdown?
Yeah, you do have to be at,
Yeah, this
be
is-
able to
this
be
is the-
available for the showdown.
This is the commitment. So let's get Brianna. Can you let us know? This is the. He is. All right. So
All right,
Roger,
all right.
he
Cool,
committed.
cool,
You are
cool.
second draw. You're going to be competing at the Nature Coast Showdown on December 2nd,
Too darn cool.
6 o'clock. Plantation Inn. Don't miss it. Captain Ken, thank you, sir.
Love
I
you
like that
guys.
shirt, by the way. Love you, brother. Captain
yes.
Zac, thanks again, man.
So it is
Got
nice
it.
and stretchy.
Hey, congrats
Captain
on the
Memphis,
house.
Hey,
Zachary.
appreciate
When's
it.
Memphis going to talk?
Soon.
Is he going to break some secrets?
No.
Yeah, Billy. Finish your. Yeah, you made a promise to everybody.
His
made a
eyes are
promise.
starting
Let's
to
see.
glass up.
Come on.
Let's see what.
You've got a DD. Come on. Go. Here, let me get that bucket ready.
Not driving my truck. It's new. I don't want champagne all over.
First time home
interior.
buyer, everybody.
Oh,
First
God.
time home buyer. Oh my God.
There it goes. It's
That's
gone.
impressive. All right, quick. Go
There it goes, all
offline.
over the floor.